Now loading podcast, period.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's stupidest podcast. My name is Ben, and with me, as always, is my co-host David.
What's up, guys?
Today we're taking a little bit of a detour from the usual episode format. I know we just did a movie episode a couple of episodes ago, but that actually replaced the first time we recorded this episode that we had to scrap for because David's recording got corrupted somehow. So
big time.
We've implemented some backup measures this time, and for every future recording. Yep. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, or at least if it does, we've got backups for everything. So anyway,
40 episodes in, and we're starting to learn.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, realistically, when was the last time this happened?
It's been a while. I haven't had the issues like that.
Yeah.
For I don't know, like a year.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't think we had to worry about it, but
nope.
Now we're learning.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this episode we are covering 2019's Knives Out. We'll start with the synopsis, and then we'll get into our initial thoughts of the movie, and then we'll kind of just, bounce around with whatever we want to talk about. So first things first, synopsis. The circumstances surrounding the death of crime novelist Harlan Thrombey are mysterious, but there's one thing that renowned detective Benoit Blanc knows for sure. Everyone in the wildly dysfunctional Thrombey family is a suspect. Now Blanc must sift through a web of lies and red herrings to uncover the truth. So David, what's your initial thoughts on this movie?
Oh, gosh. Every time I watch this movie, and I said this on the last recording, but of course we rewatched it again. I did that first thing this morning since I was up so early, and it was just breathtaking how many more things I caught again. And I thought I caught them all the last time we watched this. It's such a good movie. Every little nook and cranny, there's more details to upheave, and it's I love it. The actors, I love the acting in it. I'm surprised Daniel Craig does such a good Benoit Blanc, but he really does.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good movie. I absolutely love it.
His accent is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, it's flawless.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. It was not something I thought I'd see, but it gives me faith. Coming from
the modern Bond actor?
Yeah, well, exactly, because I don't know if it's because of him that I don't like the new movies. I feel like it's because of him. I don't like him as a Bond. But as a Benoit Blanc, the nail on the head there.
He seems like a pretty okay Bond, but I don't know. I feel like the newer Bond movies, it's kind of going on a tangent, but I feel like the newer Bond movies just take themselves a little bit too seriously.
Yeah, they're not the fun Sean Connery and Roger Moore Bond movies that I absolutely love.
They don't even necessarily need to be like campy. They just need to be more like the Marvel movies that have come out recently, where there's a lot of action. There's still room to take yourself seriously, but there's also a lot of fun in the movie,
Yep.
But from all the modern Bond movies I've seen, they're just straight. It's played straight, and I don't know. That doesn't feel like how Bond should be played to me.
Nah, but beyond that little tangent.
Yeah, beyond that, he's fantastic in this movie. And he's also fantastic as that unnamed stormtrooper in The Force Awakens, but that's besides the point.
Oh, wait, what?
You didn't know about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was. I think he was the. So you remember when Rey was captured and she she God, what is it called? She does the Jedi mind trick on that stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That was him.
No way.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
How did I not know this? When did you know this?
I've known for a while, at least since like around the movie when the movie came out.
What?
Yeah.
And you never told me.
I had to have told you at some point.
No, you did not. I would have remembered that.
That's good. That's
Oh,
hilarious.
Goodness gracious. Oh, well, you know what? You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm. One thing I wanna talk about that I caught this time that I thought was super interesting, knowing how everything turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the opening scene where Fran finds Harlan dead.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Where we open on what's her name? Marla? Or Marta? Marta, yeah. That opening scene, or that second opening scene, I should say, where we're kind of introduced to her, it's super interesting because her mindset right now is that she believes that she has killed Harlan.
Yes.
And the TV show that her sister is watching
Mm-hmm.
is repeatedly saying, you killed him. You killed him. She killed him. Something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was such an interesting touch.
You know, I've listened to that scene a couple of times, obviously, and I heard something about it being like a murder, because obviously her mother got really upset. I'm assuming it's her mother got upset with her sister about watching that, specifically after the fact that Marta just lost her employer unexpectedly. But I didn't catch all the little nuances until this morning. It just like you just said you just caught it this time around about you killed him. Oh my gosh, what have you done? It's like, oh my, how did I not catch that before? That is amazing that you brought that up. Because I didn't think about it, but I noticed it this time around too.
It's crazy. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting the amount of details that you can pick out on like a second or a third viewing of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I really caught much more than that, other than like the obvious stuff that, you know, pops out at you on a second viewing. But I thought that one was particularly interesting, just because it's not something that you see when you're watching it the first time, but upon multiple viewings, it's something that you can be like, it's like the director winking at you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I thought that was super interesting, considering, you know, her mindset in that scene.
Yeah, it's so many of those little things that you didn't catch the first time around that you catch the second or the third. And I thought I'd caught them all, and I caught that specific scene. I realized what was going on with the bottles. You had mentioned, of course, nobody knows this, but he had mentioned it the last time we tried to record this. He was a little confused as to how Marta knew which medicine to give Harlan after it had been swapped. And she thought she screwed up when she actually got a chance to read the bottles. But it turned out she hadn't. And I was explaining to him, well, it was the different consistency of the viscosity of the liquids. She's done it so many times. She knew which one was the morphine and which one was the other thing. And I didn't catch that Blanc had taped over the bottles again as a demonstration when they were laying out the whole thing. And I caught that this time. I was like,
yeah, I noticed it this time too. I saw him holding the bottles and like doing something with the tape. I'm like, oh. Oh.
Yeah, because when he asked her, how did you know this was the morphine? I didn't quite understand that part either. Until because he said, I taped over and I didn't think he meant like just then. And I realized, I said, oh, okay. That makes so much more sense. Now I understand why he said the different consistency. I thought it was what he was talking about when she punctured it with the needle. I didn't realize he was talking about her holding it up in her hand, shaking the bottle back and forth because he taped over the label. I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
See, little things like that, you catch them and it's like, oh, that makes so much more sense. It makes me love the movie even more. Little nitty-gritty stuff like that.
It's insane the attention to detail that's paid to pretty much everything in this movie. I can't think of any plot holes or anything in this movie. It's insane.
No, it's crazy. I noticed it I think I noticed it before, but I actually like paid attention to it this time.
Mm-hmm.
The grounds had like a back entrance gate kind of deal that Marta had stepped through the night that she went back up to the house, trying not to be seen, and obviously left tracks because it had rained or something.
Mm-hmm.
When they replayed the scene explaining how Ransom had done what he had done, did you notice that Ransom had walked along the wall?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
noticed that the
first
time we watched the movie.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I noticed it, but I didn't really think about it. Like the fact that he thought about that, not to leave tracks behind. He purposely walked where he wouldn't. He was thinking it out.
He's definitely Harlan's grandson.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
100%.
Still doesn't know the difference between a prop knife and a stage knife, though.
No. Speaking of which, I watched, I think it was something on Facebook the other day. We talked about the retractable knife last time, and I guess we'll talk about it this time too. Mm-hmm. But did you know that they had retractable needles too? Like, this is what they do in shows all the time when somebody's, quote, injecting themselves or something. They literally have retractable needles. And the liquid somehow, like, fills, like, the inside of the syringe, so it looks like it's disappearing into the needle, but it's not.
Huh.
So they have, like, trick needles and syringes for that type of stuff, too.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Yeah. I guess you don't really want to be injecting people with anything, especially if you don't know what you're doing, but...
Exactly. But I just figured it was like something else
I never thought of before.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh wow, I did not know this. I just thought they faked it some other way. Like, clearly we're not injecting somebody with drugs. Maybe it's just, I don't know, colored water or something.
Maybe. I mean,
saline solution.
That could very well be what it is, but
yeah.
Either way, but
either way.
Okay, so what else do you want to talk about? What haven't we touched on yet?
Oh, jeez. We haven't touched much on the acting, which we covered a lot the last time, so I think we should do that again.
Yeah, okay. Well, we talked about Daniel Craig quite a bit, so let's move on to probably the second biggest actor in this cast, at least as far as cultural popularity goes right now, Chris Evans. How do you think he did in this movie?
Man, seeing him as somebody other than, good old loving Captain America, like, the man could do no wrong. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get mad at him even if he tried. And then playing this cocky little son of a gun, Ransom, who just, I think as they put it in the movie, just him and Harlan just love being drama mamas and just stabbing each other with a knife and just twisting it in people's back just to get the effect. Like everything that they did, just this arrogant little son of a gun. I loved it. It's amazing how well of a job he did. Played it really well.
Yeah, I definitely. It's a huge, like you said, it's a huge, like 180 from his character as Captain America. But I mean, he plays it perfectly. It's really good.
Yeah, loved it.
I would say he's up there as far as Daniel Craig is on acting prowess in this movie.
Yeah, it was. What was it that I caught today that he did? I can't remember what I had caught, but there was like a critical detail that I caught again, and I was like, oh, that explains that.
Well, if you remember, just bring it up.
We'll bring it up. All right, what
Okay,
else?
so Ana de Armas, she's Marta Cabrera.
I've not seen her in anything else other than this movie.
I don't know what else she's been in.
I don't know, but I did like her in this movie. It's sweet, and she plays a sweet, innocent, concerned girl. I mean, she is like 100% regretful of what happened. Like she didn't want it to happen. It wasn't the plan, and it was nice to see somebody actually cared about Harlan's death, because it wasn't his family. That's for sure. But you could tell
they cared about his death, but only because of the will. That was it.
Only because of the will. Oh, that's what it was. It was the will reading thing. How they said Ransom was too selfish to not show up for the funeral, but he's early for the will reading. And it's like, yeah, that's right. I'd forgotten about that. Even though it's explained later exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, why would he not want to be there for that? And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. Makes sense now. Didn't catch it in the beginning that they said that. They specifically pointed it out, I think is what I didn't catch.
Okay, so she's only been in a couple of Hollywood movies. She was in Blade Runner 2049, but obviously we haven't seen that, so we'll have to watch that at some point.
Yep. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay, Linda Drysdale. I think she was fantastic as well. I haven't really seen her in too much. I remember seeing her in like Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, yeah.
And I think that might be, maybe there's something that I'm not remembering, but
she didn't watch Halloween, right?
No. Mm-mm.
I didn't think so. Something
no, I probably should, but no, I have not seen Halloween.
We're gonna remedy that at some point.
We're gonna remedy a lot of things. Anyway, yeah, she was fantastic in this movie. I bought her performance 100%. I loved her character too.
Yep.
She was, even though she was definitely on the, I don't know, she was still on the wrong side of the fence as far as everything with the will goes.
Yeah.
She was definitely the least innocent, or the most innocent of the family members as far as, everything that happened with Harlan.
Yeah.
Because her only role in that was the fact that her husband cheated on her. So.
Yeah. That turn on the dime moment when she goes from she was somewhat genuinely concerned that her father had died. I mean, she was upset about it.
Definitely,
Maybe not for all the right reasons, but she was genuinely upset about it. But that turn on the dime, like, even goes as far as to laugh and smirk at the will reading when they've all heard and assumed that the argument between Harlan and Ransom was about the will, but specifically Ransom being cut out of it. That little smirk when the lawyer says, well, this shouldn't take long, to the, oh my goodness, cold blood eyes, like, ready to kill a bitch look
Yeah,
that she
no
got
kidding.
when she found out what the will said. I was like, oh, Lord. She turned on a dime, and it was like a completely new character immediately. It's like, yes, go.
At the press of a button, basically. Sweet as can be, and then immediately she turned around and was like going for her throat.
Yeah.
Oof.
If she could have thrown daggers at her eyes, it would have killed Marta for sure. It's like, oh goodness, she's in trouble
kidding.
now.
Oh,
Loved
man. It. Okay. Michael Shannon, Walt Thromby.
I don't know. It was a good performance. I've not seen him in anything else. But Walt didn't have like a... He didn't have like a big part either. I mean, things happened, and... The only thing I didn't like about that was the film rights situation with the production house, and the fact that he's like the only one that didn't do anything. Like, at least the other one, Joni? Yeah, Joni had like a skincare thing, and Linda had the real estate thing. And Walt's just like, yeah, it takes a forte, a skill set to run a production house, but it seemed like he was piggybacking off of Harlan the most.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Even though Joni was double dipping.
Well, yeah.
Tuition money. But still, I felt like he didn't have much of a character role. But other than that, I think he played good.
I don't know. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I don't know. The way that he shows up at Marta's apartment the day after that will reading just struck me as super creepy.
Yeah, and I wish they explained the limp too.
I don't know. Maybe he just wanted to walk around with a cane during the movie. I don't think they ever explained it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they did either. I was like, why? But yeah, you're right. That was kind of creepy. I loved how she turned that on him, though.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
the assets and the lawyers.
You're telling me that your family's money can help me if this ever comes out about my mom? Yeah, you're correct. Well, then it's a good thing he left everything to me, isn't it?
So now I have the resources.
Bam!
I was like, damn, she shut the door on him pretty fast.
Suck on that.
That was one of those moments. Was like, okay, yeah, she's thinking of taking care of herself in this situation. Mm-hmm. One of the few times that she should have been and was able to, like, when she needs to, she can assert herself. So that was good. Probably why Harlan liked her so much. The fact that she beat him at, what was that game called? Go,
yeah.
I don't know what that game is. I haven't figured it out yet.
I have no idea. I don't understand what the point of it is. But
who played Harlan? I liked him a lot, but I don't think I've seen him in anything.
It was Christopher Plummer.
Oh shit! Never mind. That was Christopher Plummer?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I think the only other thing I've seen him in is The Sound of Music, and I did not recognize him at all. Holy goodness gracious! Wow. We had to say it was Christopher Plummer the last time, too, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Wow. It was not... I'm catching all kinds of things today. Exploring the world with my imagination.
You know what other well, I guess they're all famous people, but who else is in this movie that you definitely recognize, but you didn't know that you recognize?
Who?
You know the lawyer? Alan Stevens?
Yeah, what's he from?
So, he is Frank Oz, who you might recognize as not only Miss Piggy, Foggy Bear, Animal, and Sam Eagle in the Muppets, but
Oh.
also Cookie Monster, Bert and Grover in Sesame Street, and Yoda. Mm-hmm. Yoda.
You know, I didn't listen to much of anything about or watch much of Sesame Street, so none of those voices I can actually, listen to in my head, but Yoda. I'm not hearing it. He did such a good voice for Yoda, though.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Wow. I liked him a lot, too. He's a funny.
Yeah, he was fantastic in this movie.
Who've we
Let's
got?
see. Keith Stanfield. We could talk about Catherine Langford a little bit. My feelings have kind of changed on Meg Thrombey as a character.
Okay. What were they and how have they changed?
Well, I remember last time we talked about this movie, I was kind of...
You were kind of hard on her.
Yeah, I was. I definitely was. And I see... I mean, I'm still not sure that Marta should give her money or anything like that, but I definitely feel like she was forced into the position that she was. Like giving her the call, telling her to renounce the inheritance and everything. Because when Marta was coming back to the house to, tell everybody what she thought was the real truth.
Yep.
She was sitting by the front door and she gave her a hug. She seemed genuinely sorry. It didn't feel like an I'm sorry because I want money. She feels like the most genuine person in that family. She was just caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as her family is concerned. Mm-hmm. So I was definitely a little hard on her last time we tried to record this episode, but I feel like my feelings have turned a little bit. Turned around a little bit on her.
I could see that.
Which definitely speaks to Catherine Langford's performance.
Yes. It was for such a small I don't want to call it a small role, but for such a small role, it was definitely very well played.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing how she can turn off that accent too. Like, good grief.
Well, we talked about it last time we tried to record this episode, how British actors seem to be so much better at turning off their accents.
Yeah.
Slipping into American ones. I mean, obviously look at Daniel Craig. He's got a typical British accent, and here he is going with like the New Orleans drawl.
Yeah.
That typical Southern drawl.
Uh-huh. That KFC foghorn leghorn drawl.
Exactly. If I had to guess, if I did not know that Daniel Craig was British, you could have fooled me into thinking he was 100% American.
Yeah.
Would not have had a clue.
Nope.
And same thing with Catherine Langford.
Yep, I can't tell. In fact, I didn't know she was when I first saw her in 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah,
it wasn't until I saw a couple of interviews about the series that I was like, oh, damn. She's got a pretty strong British accent too, or English, or whatever it's supposed to be. Excuse us Americans, we know nothing. But it's like, wow, she's really good at turning that off.
She's fantastic.
You know who else is pretty good at it, and I'm kind of surprised? Tom Holland.
Oh, yeah. Tom Holland is great at that.
There's a new movie. I forget what it's called.
What is it? Devil All the Time? Is that what it's called?
Is it the one where he's playing a Southern character?
I'm not. It's on like Netflix or something, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Can't
Hold on.
remember what it is. I saw the trailer for it after
Yeah,
somebody
devil
mentioned.
all the time.
Yeah, okay. It's like, wow, he can really do a really strong Southern accent too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit much, honestly. I don't know if I like it or not. But it's there. It's like, wow, okay.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. What else do you think we should touch on? We touched on, I think, pretty much everybody, at least everybody who plays a major role in the story and everything. I think we've touched on everybody we can.
Yeah. Trying to rack my brain.
Not really any action sequences we can talk about.
Nope.
We've talked a lot about the attention to detail already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This movie is just good.
Yeah, really good.
There's not really... I can't think of any nitpicks that I have on this. Like, at all.
What was that? The scene between Ransom and Marta, where she's basically spilling the beans about everything that happened.
In the restaurant?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Ransom knows that lying has a strong physical reaction with her.
Mm-hmm.
And he called it beans and sausage.
Yeah.
What in the heck was in the bottom of that bowl? Was that bread? Because it did not look like sausage to me at all.
No, I don't think that was sausage. It was probably like baked beans mixed with sausage. I'm pretty sure that was bread on the side.
Okay. Because I was like, that does not look appetizing to me at all. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was like a really dark... What would that... I don't know. Whatever. Point being...
It's not sourdough. I know what you're talking... I know what you're talking about.
It's like, oof.
It looks like you know that marbled bread? It looks kind of like the black parts in that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called off the top of my head, but
No.
it's like that.
No, but the reason I brought that up is because it spoke to his character and his manipulation.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Uh-huh.
He was very, very good at manipulation in this. Not only with Marta, but also with Fran, the housemaid, and the whole morgue / medical examiner's office, whatever you want to call it, scene. It's like, wow, he went through extreme lengths to get what he wanted, and it all backfired on him because he doesn't know the difference between a prop and a real knife.
That's right. Shoulda, coulda, woulda on that one, buddy.
Yep, exactly. What else? You think that's it? I think that's it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Let's head into our final ratings, I guess.
Go watch this movie.
Yes. So out of 5 stage knives, what do you give this?
If I remember correctly, and it's been a few weeks since we've done it, so I might not be remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I gave it the coveted 5 out of 5 staged knives, because I can't find anything to complain about in this movie about the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it again. It's a 5. I absolutely love it. And it proves, I said it last time, that every time you watch it, you catch new stuff. And I thought I'd caught it all. And I caught so much more today. I said, okay, yeah, it proves my theory. You will learn something new every single time you watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Till maybe like 100. At some point, you'll get it all. But I just love it. It's perfect. Can't complain. Acting's good. The plot is good. The attention to detail is good. I want a sequel. I don't think I'll get one, but I want one.
What are you talking about? They There's a sequel with Daniel Craig that's already in development.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
I forgot about that. We talked about this last time. You know what I want? I want a coffee mug that says, "My coffee, my house, my rules."
You know what? I bet you I can find that.
I
My
love
coffee,
that. The fact that we
my
opened on
house,
that coffee
my
cup and we ended
rules.
on it.
Mug, Knives Out.
Absolutely love that mug.
There's an official Knives Out shop, it looks like, with that coffee mug.
Oh, perfect.
For $16 if you like it.
That's not bad.
I don't know. $16 for a coffee mug might be a little bit too much for me.
It's a little bit much, but I've seen worse. I mean,
this is true.
It better be
posters
one good
too.
Insulated cup.
Set of 11 Knives Out character mini posters, or an actual big poster. Interesting. It's only $25.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so
what about you?
To get into my rating, I was not as gung-ho as you were last time we recorded this episode, because
you wasn't.
I was all up on my high horse that there's no perfect movie or anything, but watching it this time again, I can't find any faults. And I mean, I'm not like a film major or anything. I don't know. I couldn't and I wouldn't want to sit down and analyze this film analytically to try and find something. No. So I'm coming from the standpoint that I'm a casual viewer that really enjoyed this movie. I got to give it a 5.
Oh my goodness. I think you had it like a 4.5 or something like that.
I think I had it like a 4.9. It's a 5 now.
It's a 5.
It's official.
It moved on up.
All right. Yeah,
amazing.
I think that's where we're gonna leave this one, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to leave a rating on whatever podcasting platform you happen to be listening on. And yeah, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Podcast Period. This episode was hosted and produced by Ben and co-hosted and edited by David. You can contact Ben on Twitter at BenPlaysVidges. That's BenPlays, VIDYAS. And you can contact David on Twitter at Car6by16. If you'd like to chat with us about any of the topics on this episode, you can hit up the show at Podcast Period on Twitter, or shoot us an email at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. We also have a new website that has launched featuring new articles written by us, as well as links to all the episodes. Please visit that at podcastperiod.com. Want to do more for the show, but aren't sure how? We have a Patreon for that. For as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes and so much more, and support the show while doing it. Just go to patreon.com/podcastperiod. Do you love sci-fi movies and shows? So do we. That's why we created the Podcast from Planet X, a podcast where we analyze and discuss your favorite pieces of sci-fi media. Check it out at the link in the show notes. That's all for this week. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
This was a Nerdgasm Podcast production.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
Served at nerdgasmpodcast.com.